You turn off all your distractions and you single task. Lack of focus is the number one reason why people fail in business or life. And when you're not focused, what happens is you're teaching your brain to be not focused. And when you do that for a long time, you become an unfocused person. You start to see yourself as an unfocused person. Just like right now, you're like thinking about other things. You saw this video and you wanted to watch this video. All of a sudden, you started watching this video. Probably you're trying to scroll on comments to see what people said. Or you're like, what is the next video there? Or what is the next video there? So those who are like really ADHD, like who cannot focus on stuff, let me give you the three important points on how to get focused before I even get started. Right? So the number one thing is to avoid distractions, avoid interruptions. Avoid people interrupting you and avoid distractions in your life and your business. That's how you start getting focused. The second thing that you would do in order for you to be focused is to create something that I call as flow time in your business, in your life. And I'll talk more about flow time and how to set it up in a few minutes. The third thing is directly opposite of what I said in the beginning. Third thing is to have a system for conscious multitasking. So what does that mean? So you have a system where you are focused and doing single tasking in your flow time. And now you have another time where you're consciously multitasking. I know everybody's against multitasking and we have this mindfulness movement where everybody's talking about let's be focused, let's do only single tasking. And if everybody in the world did only single tasking, we would have some, Zen monks. We cannot all be Zen monks. A mother cannot single task in kitchen. A person in a reception, who's a receptionist, that person cannot single task because it's much more complex than that. Right? So that's why the third thing that I'm going to talk about is conscious single tasking. But here's the key point, guys. If you want to get deep dive into these ideas and get your business to the next level, I want you to watch the entire video. But I just wanted to give you a preview of what I'm going to talk about. Let's unwrap this. But before that, why do you need to learn how to focus in your business, in your life? Because without focus, you might keep on doing things in your life. Like you might go through like months and months in your life and years pass by, a decade pass by, 30, 40, 50 years. When you're 80 years old, you wake up, or 70 years old, you wake up and you realize that you lived somebody else's life. You were so not focused, you're just responding the demands of other people, the interruptions, the distractions, the needs of other people, other people's emails, the needs of other people, and then you did not live a life. We don't want that to happen. We don't want to miss out the juice of life. That's why we learn how to focus. And also, if you're able to focus on the things that you want to be doing, then you can actually go in a direction. You can create a direction of your life. When you're able to create the direction of your life, your business, your life is going to have a purpose, a mission, a collective mission that takes you to a specific outcome, a result, a thing that you're here. When your creator sent you here, she sent you here for a reason. And that reason is going to be fulfilled when you're focused. So that's why it's really life critical and it's really important for you to focus on. Again, you came to see this video probably because you cannot focus. That's why I'm talking really fast. So you are paying attention and you watch the entire video. So this is a small thing that you could do is to stay in and watch this entire video as the first practice of focusing on something rather than trying to skip from one video to another. So let's get started. Confucius said, a man who chases, whether it is a woman too, a woman or man who chases two rabbits catches none. Let me re-emphasize this. A man who chases two rabbits gets neither. What does that mean in business? If you're trying to do two businesses at the same time, if you're trying to build two things at the same time, if you're trying to build two habits at the same time, if you're trying to look at three screens at the same time, doing three different things, then you don't get any of these rabbits. Yeah? So if that's the case, let's step into the step-by-step process that you need in order for you to be focused. So what is the first step? First step is to set up your work, your business environment in such a way that you are not distracted or interrupted. That's number one. Why? Because if you are distracted, then somebody else is going to come every 2 minutes. If you're in the office running a business, or if you're at home, there is somebody needing something all the time. So if there is a system where people can call you on your cell phone, text you, and then you have your Facebook open, and there is a comments on YouTube and Instagram and WhatsApp and 70 other things, then you're fully distracted all the time. And if you're fully distracted like that, then you're not going in the direction that you need to be going. So when you're working, make sure that all the distractions are turned off. All the alerts that you don't need, turn it off for your own good. Yeah. And then interruptions. Whenever people come to you and ask you stuff, ask them, can this be done tomorrow, next week? Can we wait till next week for this? And most of the time the answer will be yes. Yeah, so avoid distractions and interruptions. Because if you know how to systematically avoid distractions and interruptions externally, now you're starting to the game of internal distractions and interruptions. Because internally, the moment you start doing something, what happens? What happens is you have 7 other things that you want to be doing. So there's an internal distraction. And because of that internal distraction, we are inviting other people to distract us, inviting other people to interrupt us, inviting other systems and browsers and channels and cell phone, the text, the phone call and everything, so that we could be distracted, so we feel normal. So that's where you deeply get into the internal distractions. How do you handle that? So the way you handle that is, you need to have, every time you're focused on something, any other thoughts that come in, you could write it on a piece of paper. Even if that is the best idea in the whole world, write it on something or capture in any system like Trello, Asana, there are softwares like that, or Evernote, or any software that you like. Just write it there and forget about it, come back to it. So you have another idea, write it down somewhere, where you will understand what you're talking about, and then come back to this. So the name of the game is, you're focused on something. Right now I'm focused on you. I'm talking to you. Although you are virtual and you don't see me, I don't see you, you probably see me. So because of that, because I'm focused on you and your world, I'm not paying attention to anything else. I'm just here with you. So just like that, I want you to be present to the task at hand, whether it is marketing, whether it is trying to grow your business, whether it is trying to optimize your business, trying to generate more income or cash flow, whatever it is, you're focused only on that thing and only on that thing. Make sense? Now that you're focused on that thing, if some other thought come in, what do? You actually capture that somewhere. Have this vocabulary, capture it somewhere, so you know that you will get to it. Come back, capture, come back, capture, come back. So that's a level of meditation by itself, right? Because you're focused on something. Meditation is like that, right? You focused on something, and then something else show up. You capture that thought, save it somewhere, and then you come back. So that's the number one thing that you need to do in order to be focused. At this point, you still will have the tendency to leave this video. That's why I would like you to take this commitment to watch till the end of this video. Right? I don't have anything to sell you. I just wanted to serve you, help you take your business to the next level. Sounds good? Okay, so the second thing that you need to do is to create what I call as flow time. So what is a flow time? Imagine a river. The river is flowing automatically, naturally, right? It knows its direction. It is smooth and friendly, but it forgets that everything else, but it's flowing. Imagine Picasso painting. Right? Picasso forgot about everything, and then he is like painting and he forgets everything. Time disappears. Imagine a person who plays golf or tennis, or somebody who's like fully involved in playing, and then all of a sudden they forget time. Time stops moving. There is no element of time. They're completely involved deeply into something. That's what flow time is. So in flow time, you turn off all your distractions and you single task. You focus on one thing and only one thing at that time. So I recommend that you have at least 2 flow times per day. 2 flow times per day while you're working on your business. So imagine that you have 90 minutes. You spend dedicated 90 minutes just to work on marketing. And that's it. Only one thing, 90 minutes. If you cannot handle 90 minutes, start with 45 minutes. If you cannot handle 45 minutes, start with 30 minutes. In that 30 minutes, you do only that and that's it. Nothing else. No matter who calls you, unless there is a fire, you stay in that zone of flow time for that time, for that 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. In my case, it's 2 hours. So in that 2 hours, I spend my time only on that particular thing that I'm working, whatever it is, until I finish that. And then I take 30 minutes break. And if you're taking like 45 minutes flow time, then take 15 minutes break. And then what do? You come back to it. It's the same thing. No distractions, come back to it. Come back to it, work on it, and then go back and forth between them. That's how you get things done. The most important things done. The things that need a lot of creativity. The things that need a lot of deeper thinking. That's how you get them done. Flow time is the name of the game of tomorrow. You need to be single focused. All notifications gone, everything gone. You went into this mode. You have a frame, just like this frame that you see in the background. You have a blank frame and then you're painting on it. And you forget everything. You forget that time exists, life exists. You forget everything. And then you start painting. Fully present to what you're doing. Sounds good? Now the third thing is exactly the opposite. Right? Most people in this space would be like, oh, we need mindfulness. Let's be present to everything that we are doing. Is it possible to be present to things all the time? No. So second half of your day, go do conscious multitasking. Do things that doesn't need a lot of attention and a lot of energy. And at that time, you could do multitask. You could listen to music. You could do other things. You could focus on things. You need to do things in a really fast way on the second half of your day. So second half of your day is like your normal life right now, right? That's what you're going to do. You can check stuff, you can do other things, but your brain understand that there is a time for you to be chaotic and you could do your crazy on the second half of your day, but the first half of your day, you're on flow time. No interruption, no distraction. Second half of the day, tell them, hey, interrupt me after 1 o'clock. After 1 o'clock, just come by. I'll be happy to help. Do you understand what I mean? So open your day for the second half of the day. And for example, when you're in kitchen, you're cooking, if you're a woman or man who's cooking, like you cannot just focus on just breaking the egg and then have ecstasy, opening it and then it doesn't work that way. You need to be thinking about the oven, the cooking, and maybe you're cooking 2 things at the same time. And then you're washing dishes at the same time too, right? So we don't have a lot of time to be zen all the time. That's what most people say. Like if you have watched other videos on this topic, most people say we need to be zen. Just be there all the time so that you could be so productive. Not possible, at least for me. Hopefully not for you too, right? So I believe that is very challenging. It's going to get more and more challenging as life move forward with like 70 things hitting us in 70 directions. That's why you avoid all the distractions and interruptions. Number one, what you do, the second thing is you would practice something called flow time, where you would be focused into one thing and only one thing for 4 hours of your day. Then you take a lunch break. Afternoon, just do whatever you need to be doing right now, right? Do conscious multitasking. Allow yourself to multitask. There are situations where you could multitask and do that. So between these 3 things, you are giving permission for you to focus on one thing. When you're creating, you're creating. When you are what I call as distractions. When you're doing those actions, then you're distracted. And it's fine to be distracted. Unless your job is your plan is to become a Zen monk, which is fine. In that case, practice flow time for the entire day, which is challenging for me. So if you're like me, then you would avoid distractions, avoid interruptions, and do some floor times, at least 2 floor times, 4 hours minimum floor times, afternoon, check your emails, do other stuff, get notifications, go crazy. At the end of the day, finish your day with a clean cut and then move forward. And if you do this for the next 30 days, then you're going to build this habit of being focused and distracted. And it's fine. Life has focus and distraction. So could you. Right? So you could be focused in the morning time and you could be unfocused in the afternoon time. And by the way, I congratulate you for staying on this video until now, because that shows that you are committed to being focused. Because you probably came for this video because you are not focused right now and you want to be focused, and you're proving to yourself that you are focused. And finally, that is exactly what is going to happen to you. Once you continue staying in focus for a long time, once you learn to be focused for 4 hours, then your brain start to recognize that you are a person with focus. It becomes your identity. This is who you are. I am focused when I need it. When I need the most, I'm focused. But there are other times I go crazy. And when you're able to see yourself that way, my friend, you are able to move your business to the next level. You are able to move your life to the next level so that you could experience everything that you want to have in this lifetime, starting right now. This way, when you're 80 years old, when you look back at your life, you have done enough for this world. You have made a lot of money. You had a fulfilling career or business. You lived life fully. And you're so happy that there are a part of the time that I was focused into the things that I wanted to do. There was a part of the time I had the opportunity to go crazy. So I had so much structure and fun at the same time. That's my invitation for you. And if you want to take it to the next level, I have my international best-selling book called 90 Days to Life. I'm actually giving it for free while we are going through uncertain world. And if you want to download it, there must be a link somewhere. So click on that link and download my book and go through chapters 14, 15, 16, I think, where I'm going through this in much deeper level on how to get things done and stay focused in your business.